Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino, which is me, James Garesbrook. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you as always for your support, and I hope you enjoy my various content, including my podcast, the Vincast, and whenever I get around to writing anything on my blog. But this is Let's Taste, where I open bottles from Australia and New Zealand and share my first impressions of the wine. I don't give ratings really. I talk about what I like, what I maybe don't like, and I most importantly talk about whether I think it is of good value based on the recommended retail price. This edition is looking at a producer that I'm not intimately familiar with. These have been submitted by the winery for me to share my impressions of. It is Michael Hall, and we are looking at 3 white wines, and I'm excited to be introduced to a new producer. It's always a fantastic opportunity to be exposed to something different and something new, and I always like tasting new wines. So without further ado, why don't we start off with the 2016 Sauvignon Blanc, which is from the Adelaide Hills. Recommended retail price for this is $35 Australian. Adelaide Hills is arguably Australia's most prominent Sauvignon Blanc region, or at least it's where a lot of the really good Sauvignon Blanc comes from. Most Sauvignon Blanc consumed in Australia, I would think, is probably from New Zealand. Possibly, or maybe only just beaten by Australia. But yeah, Adelaide Hills is certainly very good. So we've got a bit of colour here, which is nice. It's a bit more of a golden colour rather than very pale or just flecks of green. There is a bit of yellow in here. Not straight away. It's not super aromatic. It's not kind of really almost invading my nose. It is quite subtle, quite complex. Beyond the very classic varietal fruit characters, there are some nice sort of savoury, grassy, slightly toasty notes as well. Let's taste. Quite dry, nice and fresh. But again, I like the balance on the palate. It's not all in the front. There is some nice carry through. There is some nice depth to this wine. It is more than just a fruit dominant style of Sauvignon Blanc. There has been some work here. I would suggest that there may have even been some barrel work, perhaps even some lees stirring, which has sort of given it a little bit more a creamy, savoury texture, which I'm enjoying. It is more in line with a French style, particularly like a Sancerre style of Sauvignon Blanc. I have seen examples of the Sauvignon Blanc in Australia and New Zealand, and I think that it is a style that more people should actually try, rather than these very, very crisp, clean, one-dimensional Sauvignon Blancs. It's purely harvested early, stainless steel, fermented, filtered and bottled young. There is actually some personality to this one. So very strong start. I'm very, very happy with that. I think $35 is a good price. If you can get it on special, even better. The second wine is called Sang de Pigeon, which I wonder if that means blood of pigeon, or Blanc de Pigeon, which from 2016 vintage. Recommended retail is $28. This is a blend of Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. It's a very traditional, a very old style of white Burgundy blend. A bit of colour here, not as much as a Sauvignon Blanc. More of an oyster shell sort of aromatic here. Less sort of barrel notes, less lees notes. A little bit fresher, but still not kind of hugely over the top and in your face with the fruit aromatics. Let's taste. A bit crisper, a bit greener, a bit cleaner. Excuse me. This one's sort of not really saying much for me. It's a very straightforward, up and down, no nonsense, basic white wine. I'd happily pay $20 for that wine. I think $28 you could find more interesting examples. Certainly you could find more interesting examples of Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc. It's so-so. The third wine is meant to be a big step up in terms of quality. It is the Chardonnay 2016. Recommended retail in this case is $50. So all these white wines are from the Adelaide Hills. And Chardonnay again is synonymous with the Adelaide Hills. It's certainly both Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay are arguably at their best in the Adelaide Hills as far as South Australia is concerned. Lovely colour, really lovely, fresh. Goodness gracious, I'm getting messages. I do apologise. I forgot to say, let's taste. Let's taste. Very subdued. Not really giving much on the nose. There's a little bit of fruit there. There's a little bit of the citrus coming through. You know, some grapefruit. It's quite close. For me, this sort of looks a bit like a Chablis style. Not kind of rich and buttery. Let's taste. I like this style of Chardonnay. It's not like the best example I've seen. I think for me, the Yarra Valley is an excellent, if not Australia's best region for Chardonnay. That's just my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I like this style. I like this kind of slightly bit more bite, not in that kind of really rich style. Having said that, $50 I think is, if you like the style of Chardonnay, you'll probably be happy with it. But I think a lot more people at that kind of price point are looking for a little bit more kind of creaminess, nuttiness, toasty, oak and lees derived characters. And I think people might balk at $50. It is an extremely competitive segment of the wine market. Premium Chardonnay. Australia produces some of the best Chardonnay outside of Burgundy, in my opinion, and it's not bad. I think it's a very good wine, but I would certainly pick a lot of other Chardonnays retailing for around about the same before I pick this one. But I really like that Sauvignon Blanc. I think that's an absolute cracker. $35, excellent wine for the price. The other two are solid, but far from exhilarating. Guys, thank you very much, of course, to Michael Hall for donating some samples. I really do appreciate the opportunity to taste wines and share my impressions. If you would like to have your wines profiled on Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino, please get in contact with me via my website. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it on social media, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And please be sure to subscribe to the Intrepid Wino YouTube channel. Come and visit me at intrepidwino.com. There's different ways of getting in contact with me there, as well as all my different content. And you can follow me on social media at Intrepid Wino on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But guys, until next time, cheers.